Yo guys, and welcome back to another episode of Podghost.
So guys, we're so pleased to bring onto the show someone I've wanted on the show for quite a while now. Pleased to have her on the show. Multi-talented, boxer, influencer, you name it, she's done it. It's Daniella Hemsley.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very happy to be here.
You're the first person to ever applaud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
man. Yeah, we just get dry
Thanks
ones,
for
innit?
having
Like,
me.
yeah, thanks man. Yeah, love.
Daniella, you're on a long drive.
Oh yeah.
3.5 hours.
Wow.
And the motorway was chock-a-block from Birmingham, plus traffic, yeah, but it's going to be
Welcome
worth
to
it.
London.
Yeah.
We're used to that,
London traffic. Oh my God, I don't miss it.
You know, it's funny because anyone you speak to, right, whenever they're coming out of London, and I always tell them on the phone, you know, it's going to take you a few hours to get here. And they're like, no, we'll be,
It's
you know.
calm, man, yeah. Lewis Hamilton.
I said, put it in Waze, you're going to find out at least 3 hours minimum.
Yeah. I know, 150 miles as well, 3.5 hours. I live in the middle of nowhere, so there's like no cars on the road.
Oh God.
I'm not used to London traffic anymore.
Welcome to you know what, it's a pleasure for us having you on.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank you
so
very
And
much.
you know what? There's so much to go into with you. There's so many different topics and stuff. But I want to start off with you growing up. How was it? Where were you? Where were you born and bred? Tell us a bit more about your childhood. I mean, you're not old now, but your childhood.
So I grew up in a town called Crawley. Mum, Dad, South London, like Gatwick. Yeah, mum, dad, 2 sisters.
Oh, bless.
I'd say I wouldn't say I've had I've had everything as a child. Like didn't grow up in a super rich house. I don't anything like that. But you know, I've had everything. Really good parents and happy childhood until I got to about 12 years old. Mum left randomly, all of a sudden. She moved 200 miles away, and it was a time of my life where I was transitioning from primary school to secondary school, and I just went off the rails. And as a child, having no stability in that time of my life, mum leaving, moving schools, my friends were all going to a different school, I turned to food and stuff in my face as a kid. I was severely depressed, didn't go to school for 3 years, ended up 93 kilos at 13, 14, 15 years old, and yeah, I was just mad depressed, and got to a point when I was about 15 and something clicked inside me and I was like, enough is enough, like I need to change. And at the time my dad was dating this lady who was quite into fitness, and she gave me a Slimming World book. I don't know if you've heard of the Slimming World diet.
100%.
And I just read through it and started it, and as a little girl that's eating probably 5,000, 6,000 calories a day on cookies, chocolate, just switching that up, just changing my diet. I lost 2 stone in about 2 months. No exercise, just a diet change. And then I started walking, and then I lost another 2 stone. And then I just thought, maybe now's the time I join the gym. And I joined the gym. You know, when you first go to the gym, you don't know how to do anything, and you're just on a treadmill walking. And I was so lucky that a PT came up to me and was like, can I show you some exercises, like on the machines? He showed me a couple of leg machines, and I was dead the next day. I couldn't even walk up the stairs. It was the DOMs were mad. And kind of from there, really, I became a bit obsessed with fitness.
Smashed it.
Started watching YouTube videos of like how to deadlift, and from about 15, well to now really, super obsessed with bodybuilding, and here I am today.
Mad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
93 kgs as well. Like, that's
Size 20 at like a 15-year-old.
Wow.
But you know what? I want to play, obviously, you spoke about your mother leaving and the effect it has on people. I think people don't really understand, you know, who have a childhood with both parents, of how difficult it is when one parent, you know, decides to just get up and leave.
And it's not normal for a mum to leave either. So my dad brought up 3 teenage daughters, and
what a guy.
he's like a best friend now. Like he's a little bit camp, and we all go to Beyonce concerts together. And he's amazing. He's literally like my best friend.
Big up the dad, man.
He's unreal.
You know what? Shout out to your dad. What a man. That's the definition of Superman.
He is Superman.
You know, they're the sort of things that I think I don't think men get that credit. You know, not just because I'm a man, but I just feel like it don't come natural to a man to bring up kids, and men want to be out there, men want to do their thing, and to think your dad did that, just
he was the breadwinner as well. And obviously, like, as a teenage girl, it's a time of my life where I'm you know, I'm starting my period. I need to go bra shopping. And he was that person, as well as my eldest sister, but he was that person, and he was just unbelievable.
So if you don't mind me asking, with your mum, is there any contact now, or?
Yeah, so after about 5 years, my mum was really lost at the time, and I've learnt that now, and she totally regretted it, and she moved away, and then she came back about 5 years ago, and I've built a really good relationship with her now. She's more like a best friend, but, you know, my mum's in my life, so I'm very grateful for that, and she's cool, man. She's learnt from her mistakes, and she's really made up for it.
No,
as
that's
much
nice.
as she can.
That's nice. I was expecting you to say no, but you know the fact that you've
my life's been a whirlwind.
Yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. But it's so nice to know that you've patched it all up, and you can see beyond that. Because, like you just said, it was such a big statement that as kids we don't know what they're going through.
Of course,
you don't understand either. Like, I had no idea. 1 minute my mum was there, 1 minute she's gone. I didn't know anything that was happening. Like, I've learnt now that obviously there was issues in mum and dad's relationship.
That's it.
All mum wanted was this family structure, and my dad was, at the time, was obsessed with work. Like, he's very money, career orientated, and he wasn't giving us the time. So mum left, and it was a culture shock for everyone. So now dad had to be breadwinner and mum. So it was crazy whirlwind.
Bless, man.
But it's made me the person I am today.
That is a bit difficult though sometimes to juggle between working and earning money and then spending time, because then now if you do the opposite and spend too much time with the family, which is not a bad thing, but then some women, not saying your mum, just naturally some women will be like, it's great you're spending enough time, but we ain't really doing anything because we ain't got the money. Yeah, so of course. It's a catch-22. You don't know how, you need to find that right balance between it, isn't it? That's all it is.
In a way, that's why it's so important to have two parents and try and work together as a family unit, you know what I mean? So...
Well, you know what?
But we made it work.
Yeah, that's it, no, big up the dad.
You've done really well, you know, putting in mind we just knew all that about you. Yeah. And then going on this remarkable weight loss journey. And that was the one thing that I think out of everything you've done that I thought, you know what, hats off to you, man. Because that wasn't no normal weight loss. That was some serious dedication must have gone into that. Yeah. And, you know, being a child that's big, it must have come with a lot of abuse. You know, people, let's be real, when people see someone who's overweight, the amount of shit they go through in...
My nickname was, my sisters were at the time quite mean to me. Like, they never called me Danny, Daniella, Dan, which is my nicknames. I was Fatty or Miss Piggy. I can laugh about it now, but at the time, like, I would just spend I just remember spending every single night crying. Like, and there was one night I didn't cry myself to sleep. I was like, why am I not crying? And then that's when something, and that's when something clicked inside me. And I went from one extreme to the other, and then I got obsessed with bodybuilding. I wanted to compete. I wanted to take steroids. Yeah. I remember at 16 years old ordering SARMs. I don't know if you know what SARMs are. Like the illegal steroids. They came, and I read the back of the bottle, and it was like, you could die. And I was like, hell no, returned them, and then just didn't do them again. And I have struggled with eating disorders and stuff like that. Obviously, bodybuilding, I hired coaches to like help me with my nutrition, which led me to binge eating because I was restricting my calories so much to like get super lean. I was obsessed with getting so lean, and then I would restrict and just binge and binge and binge. It was only about 2 years ago I got over it.
Wow.
Yeah.
We said wow together.
Yeah, I know, man.
That's how mad it was.
Kind of stuff,
That was. But you know what? You know, on your weight loss journey, like you just said, you became obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why you've got so far, because sometimes obsession can lead, obviously if you've got a good control on it, it can be the reason what catapults your whole career. Yeah. Because the way you've now, you know, you've only been around for 2 years on social media doing this. And when you told me that, I was like, wow, like, you know, it feels like you've been doing, the amount you've achieved in them 2 years, it isn't normal. And I think that obsession is probably the reason why you are where you are today.
Definitely. I mean, I could tell you about my social media, how I got there.
Yeah. Tell us,
please. I used to ring girl. So I was working in a gym on a Saturday night and ring girling after the gym. And the ring girling agency gave me an opportunity to have a job in a Bollywood film as a ring girl.
Bollywood?
Bollywood.
Oh, wow.
A feature film, and I got a role, and then they promoted me to have this like featured role, and I had this like massive role in this film. And I just took that opportunity as like, if I make the right connections, I could make something here. Definitely. So I literally decided, I was on set for a month. I was only getting paid about £130 a day. took my holiday off my other job, and I was like, screw it, I'm going to quit my job, and sorry, I've lost my train of thought.
You're earning £130 a day.
Earning £130 a day in this film, made loads of connections, and I met one girl on there called Rebecca who did a Sidemen video, and she was like, you'd be so good for the Sidemen. It literally blew me up overnight, and she gave me the agency's number, and I contacted the agency, and they were looking for girls at the time, 6 girls. I was so lucky, and while I was doing the film, I think it was like on a Saturday, I went and did the Sidemen, and it came out about 3 weeks later, and blew me up overnight.
Wow.
Blew me to about 40k, and I was like, right, now this is the time I need to keep myself relevant. And then I started TikTok, had no idea about TikTok, and then my TikTok started blowing, and then I was learning about trends and this and that, and just keeping myself relevant, and did that.
That's crazy, 40,000 overnight.
It was crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, if I get about 5,000 followers, I'll be happy. And then it got to about 40, and I was like, oh my God, it's still going. It was mental.
You might as well tell us how to do it.
Yeah, exactly, man. I might jump on the side with you.
So you know what? Sticking to social media, right? With you, there was a part, where you took social media to a different level and went on to OnlyFans.
Yes.
Tell us more about that, because that's the side that, the first time ever someone's come on our podcast to speak about this. And we normally, I think guys, when they speak about it, they don't understand what actually goes behind the thought process of doing it.
Yeah.
For us, it's quick to just say, someone's doing this because they want to make quick money. They don't care about themselves. It's just a stigma attached to the whole...
OnlyFans.
Yeah, the whole conversation on OnlyFans is like that. I think we had Minicon on our show. I think he is. Lovely guy. He came on and he was really in support of women that he goes, I don't, for me, it makes no difference. I'd marry someone like that or be with someone like that. Can we ask you something? What's your views on it? What made you go into it?
I actually, before all of the social media stuff, I think it was in lockdown, I considered doing it. I'm very into ever since I've had a bit of self-confidence and I lost loads of weight and I got a boob job because I had saggy boobs after losing weight, all the rest of it, I gained a lot of confidence, and I was like, I could make a load of money on this, but I never did it because I didn't have the following. And then obviously blowing up from the Sidemen, quitting my job, I got to a point where I'd spent all my savings. I had 7 grand in savings. I got down to my last £100 and I was paying rent. And I was just like, fuck it, basically. And signed up to OnlyFans. Overnight, I made 7 grand, literally just by signing up and saying, hey guys, look, I'm on OnlyFans. And obviously all the Sidemen followers are male, so it kind of worked hand in hand.
Yeah, true.
And a friend of my family's, shall I say, is very successful on OnlyFans, and she was like, look, if you're gonna do it, go head first in it and do everything on it. And that's probably my biggest regret, actually, is I didn't know. I was so naive. I signed up to OnlyFans and did the full shabam straight away, and obviously learning about it, learning about myself and my image, I've regretted so much now. And the OnlyFans that I have today is very toned down.
Okay.
It's more like glamour modelling. And I've always wanted to do page free as well. So I guess it's like I'm in control of my own content, doing page free type stuff. So more like body empowerment, like.
No, fair play.
No, of course.
Yeah,
of course, yeah. But
so sorry.
That's gone.
You said you regret doing it. Now, for people that say, what was the biggest regret about doing it? Was it the fact that as you grew older, you thought this ain't right? This is not something where you felt violated, or you felt like this ain't me. I just want to know exactly what was going through your mind to say it was a regret.
I don't regret OnlyFans. I put that out there. I do not regret OnlyFans. I love chatting to my fans. Genuinely, it's a way for me to monetize and my fans to talk to me. And there's exclusive content. Yeah, of course. But the things I regret is the extent of the content.
Okay.
At the time, I just took advice from people without thinking about myself, thinking I'm going to regret it in 2 years' time. And also as well, I know now I could have made the same amount of money showing nothing
without doing it.
Without,
of course.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the thing I regret, and it's just going in, being naive. Every single girl now, I feel like that's got a little bit of a following has got an OnlyFans, and
of course,
they're not thinking of their future. Now I'm in a long-term relationship. I want children in the next couple of years.
Man, bless
I
you,
want to do TV, and it's like I've already put that stuff out there and it's on the internet forever. And it's like, now I've got to try and rebrand myself, still make money. And yeah, I'd say my biggest advice to women is don't rush into it.
Yeah, just think about
Definitely not rush into it. Like, I know so many girls that they've seen how well I've done, for example, and they've signed up, and or like other people like Elle Brooke, who's my good friend, she won't mind me saying it, like she does everything on there, and other girls are seeing that and they're thinking that's the way to make the money, and then they do everything and they don't know the consequences in years to come.
I think it's also maybe from the outside, the way people look into someone like that.
It's the stigma as well.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Because you might be doing it for the money and the job, and you're thinking it's only a job. Like, you know, it's not, you know, something that we stand for, or something that, you know, we're not cheap people. We're actually very.
It's hard work, man, as well. Like, people think it's easy. If you're not on it, like replying to messages, posting new content, like doing live streams, you're not making money.
I'm
like,
gonna say something so stupid, yeah. You know, generally when OnlyFans first come out, I thought it was just like girls like putting up like feet pics or something. That's all it was.
Do you know what as well? I don't know.
I thought it was.
I don't know who subscribes to it. Like everyone I know or ask, because I don't know if they don't admit it, but I don't know anyone that subscribes to OnlyFans.
I don't think you'd ever will find anyone. You know, I did it firstly. I'm from an older generation. This all stuff was new to me.
Yeah.
First, I would have wanted it popping up on my bill. Yeah. I could get a bill by it. Right. But secondly, I just feel like the younger generation's being exploited with the boys. I mean, like, what I mean by that is guys who suffer self-confidence, who don't necessarily believe in going to the gym or training, or, you know, maybe get told they're dorks or nerds or whatever. I feel these are the sort of guys that will turn to girls that they think they could never get, or they could never speak to these women.
And that's when they pay for it.
And that's when they pay for it. And they're paying like so many women, spending their wages, maybe asking their mum and dads for money. And the poor, I feel sorry for them, because I feel like they're trapped in this circle. And
just lack of confidence, really, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I think that's what OnlyFans have played on. That these guys who are subscribing to that, they, I think, are the ones that are paying the price in the long term for their mental health and stuff. Because if you're watching girls that are looking 10-10 and you don't marry a 10-10, or you don't get into a relationship with a 10-10.
That's like porn in general, though, isn't it? It's like, it's so fake, and it gives you.
But at least with porn, you don't have to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, with porn,
to an extent,
you can just, you watch it, you do, you know, whatever, but you don't really pay for it. But these guys are probably spending money. I don't know how much it is or anything like that.
Do you know what's the bad thing about what you just said as well? It's when certain people that have got low confidence, they're going to go on and now pay for OnlyFans, or not even just OnlyFans, in general, like just loads of different things. That's where they believe, now that becomes their reality. They believe, okay, cool, if I want to speak to a girl, I'll just speak to her online. Or if I want her to do something, I'll just pay for it online. And now
it's like everything, though. Everything's like virtual reality, isn't it? Like nothing's real anymore.
And then they lose the confidence in actually speaking to someone in person. They won't be able to.
That's even like me, though. Even like I could chat. I feel like I'm very introverted. I don't know if it's from my childhood or anything like that, but I am very introverted. But I can chat on a camera or on a vlog all day long. But when it comes to speaking to people face to face, I'm very, very selective. It's like I struggle to talk to people.
This is going to sound so weird. As being on a podcast, I feel the opposite.
Really?
I feel like when the cameras are gone, I'll speak more freely. With the cameras, you're always thinking, there might be something I don't want to say. Yeah. Should I say it? You know, because if you mess up or something, you can always say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it in that way. Like you said, once you say something online, it stays online forever. Yeah. And you're pissed.
That's how we've got the power of editing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's the thing with YouTube, and it's like, make loads of content, you just cut out what you don't want. Or you can literally build your own story.
Exactly.
It's wild, and people don't realise that it's all fake.
Yeah.
No, you know, if you don't mind me asking, it's a bit of a personal question. You don't need to answer it. When you said you made money on OnlyFans, how much did you make in your whole time on it? Was it a lot of money?
I've been on it for just under 2 years. But you don't make the money unless you keep yourself relevant, like online. So if I'm not blowing up on Instagram, I'm not blowing up on TikTok, I'm not, I don't know, doing the boxing or going on YouTube videos, keep myself relevant, you're not making the money.
So it's not as easy as people think.
All in marketing. All in marketing. Like if you don't have a following, like I get people message me all the time about advice on starting OnlyFans. First thing I'll say is please think about it. Like if you want it to be a secret of your family, don't do it. Or if they don't have a following, like I'm a realist, I'll just be like, look, like you're coming close to it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's nuts.
Do you know what though?
But I rate
That's
you for
nothing compared to a lot of people.
Yeah,
Nothing. Like nothing.
Yeah, man.
I'm making nothing compared. Like a lot
crazy,
of my
innit?
social media friends are killing it, man.
They're
Like,
well into the millions.
quarter of a million a month. Some people I know. Like, yeah.
What the? Sorry, I need some water.
Like,
No, yeah,
and
I've
that's
seen
the
it
thing
online
as
as
well.
well.
Like,
But I rate you
it's
so
hard not to
much
follow
for
the
coming.
money.
I rate you so much for actually saying you want to come out, not in a rude way, but the fact that you want to come out of it and you are out of it.
Yeah.
But the fact that you've thought of that is, do you think it's not to the point where one day you might get tempted back in, or do you ever feel like, no, I've shut this fucking door, I'm done, like I could never?
I've realised it's not me. Like,
Yeah.
for example, when I got into the boxing last year, and I went from being TikTok star Daniella in the press and in the newspapers, now I'm OnlyFans superstar, OnlyFans this, OnlyFans that. Like, the stigma of it and the image, I have to think of long term.
Yeah.
So right now I'm using the cash that I do have to invest in property and things like that,
good on
to
you.
set myself up for life and
Brilliant.
get away from it.
You know what? Thank you for
But,
speaking about that. Because
Yeah,
you're very open, and the way you speak about things is very from the heart. And I think a lot of people can take it away and think, you know what, we can actually
Take some
she's
advice
getting-
from this,
yeah,
innit?
she's
Yeah, of
getting
course.
through to us
100%.
really
Yeah.
well, because a lot of girls would love to boast about it, or they won't speak about it in such an open manner, you know. But with you, I think when people watch it or watch this podcast, they will feel like, you know what, if we ever do consider doing it, we should maybe actually DM Daniella for some advice,
100%.
because
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot of support out there anyway for young girls and guys. But yeah, man, good on you.
With what you just said though, does it get a bit overwhelming sometimes with all the messages you get?
In terms of on OnlyFans or on Instagram,
in just
in
general.
general, yeah. You must get loads of messages.
hundreds.
That's what I mean.
Hundreds and hundreds. But I'm very selective with what I reply to.
Yeah.
Only really business inquiries I reply to.
Oh, why
'cause-
not? Yeah, of course.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
So
So let's swiftly moving on now, because you went into the boxing, you touched up on that.
Yes.
How did someone first you go through an amazing weight loss journey, then started online, social media, whatever it was, but then you thought, you know what, allow looking pretty, I want to get into a boxing ring and fight, because for a female, I think you touched up on it with AJ Bunker's podcast. Shout out AJ.
Shout out AJ.
When he said that, you know, as girls, your image is everything. It is for
Being
men
pretty.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think, don't you ever feel to yourself now, I'm going to go into the ring and get hit, you know, and anything can, one punch can just literally change my whole face. And it wasn't easy. You went in the ring with someone like Julie Pocker, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what made you do that? What made you go into boxing?
I'll be honest, I had never boxed in my entire life. I didn't know what a
That's
jab
even
was.
more nuts.
Didn't know what anything was. Had zero experience. And Kingpyn messaged me basically asking what my boxing experience was, what my weight is. And I just saw it as an opportunity, I'll be honest.
Why not?
They'd
Yeah.
already announced a few big influencers like Anderson, Gibb, Elle
Yeah.
Brooke on the show. And I was like, oh my God, this is an amazing opportunity for exposure. So I lied to them.
Yeah.
And I said that I'd been boxing for a year and a half, just doing a bit of fitness boxing here and there. And then obviously like we like negotiated contracts. I literally signed within 2 days, got straight into fight camp, and my partner is an professional MMA fighter.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
And I'm
Big him
very,
up as well.
in a way, I'm very lucky. He was
Real guy.
injured at the time, so he wasn't in a fight camp.
Yeah.
So he taught me to box, and I had 10 weeks to learn to box from absolutely nothing.
Wow.
And I was about 72 kilos at the time, and I had to drop down to 63 in 10 weeks. So I was on a mad diet learning to box. And then I did the Misfits launch party, and I pulled out Julie Pocker. And I underestimated her, I'll be honest. And then we walked up close to each other, and I just saw how hench she was, and I was like, oh my God. So I had to train, and first fight, Wembley Arena, 12,000 people.
Massive.
In England, I was expecting to at least be cheered.
Yeah.
I walked out, and all 12,000 people were booing me.
Wow.
So apparently, Whindersson Nunes, who was also on the card,
Yep.
paid for a load of Brazilians to fly over. So the whole arena was
Okay.
like Brazilians
Yeah,
booing
yeah.
me, and I had 5 rounds of just a battering.
Shit.
Because I'm a little teddy bear. I've never been in a street fight, nothing. So I had to learn to get punched in the face as well.
Yeah.
And Julie Pocker was a big wake up call.
How was the experience though?
She is strong. First 10 seconds, no
Yeah.
joke. She punched me below the belt, and
Yeah.
I peed myself. My bladder exploded, piss all down my legs. I was like, oh my God,
Shit.
I've got 5 rounds of this. And,
What?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, swear. I watched the video, but I watched the fight back a few weeks later because I couldn't watch it first of all because obviously I'd lost and it hurt my soul.
Yeah.
And I watched it back and I was just looking out for the pee.
And did people notice it?
No one noticed it. And this
now they do.
This is
Rewatch
TMI
it.
as well. I'd just come off my period and I was like, oh my God, what if a bit of blood comes down as well? It's like a horror film.
Yeah.
But lost that fight and then I had 8 weeks to come back because I'd signed a free fight contract, which is a blessing really, because if I hadn't had, I wouldn't have gone back. Hell no.
Yeah.
And had 8 weeks, came back and won my fight.
You've got
celebrated.
Yeah, I saw that.
Smashed it, yeah.
We're gonna go into that. You know what? Even with that, I think it was it was more the joy.
Yeah.
And I remember when they're reading out the scores. I remember I was just seeing you like you're so excited because you knew you won.
It
the
meant
fight.
everything to me because
Of course.
I didn't really think I didn't believe in myself. I didn't actually think I could win because my second opponent, Ola, gave such a good fight against Elle Brooke and it was quite a close fight.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't going to beat her. And then I just went in it, gave it my all. And during the fight, my coach Ash was like, Danny, you're winning. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're winning. And then I won and it just meant so much to me. And
It's got caught up in the moment.
But the celebration was set up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay.
So the promoter...
'Cause my next question was going to be, did you get in trouble? But if it's set up,
The
then
promoter sent me forwarded me a video, which I soon learnt later that he actually sent that to multiple girls of 2 girls flashing their boobs at an MMA fight. And he was like, you should do this, it will go really viral. And I was like, now I've got your permission. Fuck it. At the time, I was like, it's going to blow my OnlyFans up. Hell yeah, I'm going to make so much money from this.
Yeah.
And so he basically gave me permission, egged me on to do it. They were all about like going viral. Like at the time, Kingpyn was like flopping. So they just wanted anything to go viral to sell tickets, PPVs, and flash my boobs. And they couldn't get me in trouble because I had it all in writing.
Of course, yeah.
And
because that's what I was just going to say. Usually, like, you probably get fined or banned from it.
then they then threw me under the bus and released a statement because obviously they had a contract with DAZN and DAZN had no idea. So DAZN were coming at me and I was like, hell no, I've got this in writing here. You've given me permission.
Yeah.
And they were like, fine, but we have to put a statement out saying that we don't condone what you've done. You're not allowed to fight in the final or anything like that. So they threw me under the bus and I think Kingpyn's liquidated now. So I guess it's gone.
Still in touch with them? You still in touch with anyone from the company?
All of the girls, we've all become good friends.
That's good.
Like, I'd never spoken to Elle Brooke before that, and she's so lovely.
Elle Brooke's lovely, yeah. We
She's
met her.
lovely.
Yeah.
She's so humble and beautiful girl. I really like her.
Solid, strong.
That's a
as well.
nutty story. I don't think I've never thought that would be the case because I just thought it was through excitement.
Yeah.
No, it was all set up. It was all set up. But yeah, that was a great month. That was.
Did you see the influx in fans coming in after?
Oh my God, yeah. And I was headlining in Mexico, India, and all these newspapers on the news. Like, it went next level viral. Like,
So it kind of worked.
oh my God,
It
yeah.
definitely worked.
Definitely paid off.
No. The podcast will be fucking, the cameras will run away.
Only problem is though, if you type my name in Google, that's like the first thing that comes up.
Oh, shit,
But
yeah.
But you know what? I think,
yeah,
look,
it's not-
I think with you, it was more a part of the show. And like you just said, it was all fixed. It was all like a stunt,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And it worked. You
That
know?
is influencer boxing though. Like, that's what I do like about it. It's not all just, like, you train like a professional fighter, but you put on a show. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just all serious. Like, let's have respect for each other. Like, you can have a little bit of fun with it.
Yeah, you
and
can.
Yeah, you can.
It's
yeah.
so much
The
fun.
press conferences are way
yeah.
more like
Because
nutty.
we went to our first Misfits event, a few weeks ago?
Few weeks
I
ago, yeah.
absolutely loved it.
Good
I
fun.
think it was
Mental.
amazing. The vibe, the energy.
Yeah.
Made some good, done some good networking, and I think everyone there was they're just
great
nice
people there. Yeah.
Brilliant.
You know, I just think like even with you guys, it's like a bunch of friends just getting together, put a show on.
And everyone's so different as well. Like, everyone's got a following for different reasons.
Yeah, and they've got
like,
their own
you've got Elle
personalities.
that's like into OnlyFans, then you've got KSI that's a singer, and then you've got, do you know what I mean? Like, it's like a massive collaboration.
Yeah.
It's
unreal.
exactly.
A bunch of multi-talented people
Yeah.
just all over the place.
So who's your favorite fighter
unbelievable.
at the minute? If you were to choose one, like who do you enjoy watching? Because obviously you're with these people, you study them and you watch them fight, whatever. Who would you say, you know, when you watch them fight, you're like, you know what, she or he's good?
Well, it's not that I want to
As a
fight them,
fighter.
or like, as I like watching them.
Yeah.
Oh, I like all the girls. I'm biased though. Like I love watching Julie Pocker because I'm like, no, I don't think anyone's gonna beat her though. She's so strong.
She's strong.
If you get punched by her,
Did you get the chance to sit with her after the fight or speak to her?
We shook hands, had a photo, and
she's actually
showed each other respect.
Lovely girl.
But the build up of my fight, I did comedy sketches about her and all the rest of it. And she was obviously like going down the respect route, like let's have respect for each other. And I was like, nah, like if I'm doing this Kingpyn thing, I'm blowing myself up as much as I can. And I made comedy skits about her. They flew me out to Brazil, and Akon dressed up as like a woman in the press conference, came out and
I saw that.
Like we made it next level.
That was
we shook hands at the end. It was obviously all banter and all the show.
Of course it was. So do you know what? Tell us more about a side that no one really sees. And me and Seff touch up on it a lot on our podcast. It's the mental health side. Mental health is something that we cover really, very importantly on our show. Doing all this stuff that you do and the whole being out there, but there is a side to it that people don't see, and that's when you're not on the camera and you're home alone and you just sit there thinking about, just self-reflection, really thinking, what am I going, what am I doing, am I losing myself, is the fame getting to me, is the money getting to me? Tell us more about that. Do you feel like you've ever suffered from mental health or ever felt like, if I carry this on, I will fall into the trap of it?
I've always struggled with mental health, always, ever since a little girl, obviously, from 12 years old, gaining all that weight, I struggled severely with depression, anxiety. I'm very grateful that I don't suffer with depression anymore, but I do struggle with anxiety a lot. It's not so much like the lights, the cameras, the hate. Like, I'm so grateful that I get so much hate, and genuinely none of it gets to me. The only stuff that gets to me is the racism that I receive from my partner, about my partner, shall I say. That just upsets me because I just think we're in 2024. Like, come on, some of the messages are disgraceful. But I struggle with anxiety a lot, and I beat myself up a lot. Like, for example, if I'm not doing well 1 month, I'll be crying like I'm a failure. And it's so hard, like doing social media. Like 1 minute you're blowing up, and the next month it's flopped, and you're like, what have I got to do now? And it's so hard not to follow the views. Like, for example, wearing a bikini, like, you're going to get loads of views, and it's hard. It's battling where I want to go and like making the money. It's so hard. But
well put, that was.
Man, do you find yourself sometimes doing things, putting up posts and stuff like that, even though you feel like don't really want to, but you need it? It's like you're saying, chasing the views. Because I've asked it a few times where some people, like on TikTok nowadays, I've seen some, like, when you see all these funny videos and pranks and stuff, and you're thinking, there's no way in hell that you actually wanted to go do that, but they do it just for the views.
I've learnt now not to put anything out unless I'm 100% comfortable with it.
Wicked.
But saying that, obviously, having the OnlyFans stigma, and I want to come away from that, it's so hard not to post the thirst trap, the cute try-on haul YouTube videos, because I know that's what gets the views, whereas my passion lies in vlogging and being a personality. So it's so hard, like...
It's just hard to transition out of it, but you have to slowly, of course,
and build a female audience when I've had 98% men for the past 2 years. It's so hard, and it's just, I'm trying to use my fitness side and share my fitness journey and my knowledge to build a new image.
And a new following, new audience.
And a new following. It's so hard, and it definitely don't happen overnight.
No, but it's hard. On a positive note, obviously, I'm talking to you off camera. You've got such a bubbly personality, and there is more to you than what people think or what people see. Because I think it's kind of a fuckery, really, when it comes to social media. They can't really speak to you.
That's why I love doing podcasts as well, because it's like, you can tell your
just
story.
Be yourself,
and,
innit?
100%.
Exactly.
100%.
And even speaking to you now, like, you told us you're only 23, like...
23.
You're not...
And you've been through all of that. I would never even expect it. Never, ever.
God knows what's next. Maybe see you on Mars.
Yeah, you might have a song coming out.
My goal's millionaire by 25, so I'm like...
You're not far off anyways.
I put so much pressure on myself, though. It's not good.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
like, so much pressure on myself. And I see people doing so well, and I'm like, why am I not there?
When
they only started a year ago, and I'm like...
So stay in your lane, and you
100%.
you'll get there however you get there, and however long it takes as well.
100%.
So obviously now move on to your relationship at the moment, because he's a lovely guy. I just spoke to him for a little while.
Look at my bro
here right now, my brother.
Come
so
on.
I want to ask you more about, it's so rare, because I remember speaking to you last week and you said my partner's having a fight in Prague.
Yes.
So to think, you want to fight and your partner's a fighter,
Yeah.
just
Must have a few punch ups, innit?
Tell us more about how it is being with a fighter, because I think a lot of women, when they date fighters, they have this thing where, I want to say wags, because that's more of a football term, but do you ever feel like people look at you a bit different, the fact that you're with a fighter, like you mentioned, the fact that colour and race and all this sort of stuff, you said it gets to you. Do you want to elaborate a bit more on that?
I'll be honest, dating a professional MMA fighter can be very isolating.
Really?
Like, naturally, with his job, it's a very selfish job. You have to have a routine. He has to train twice a day. He has to have certain food, and we go away for these fight weeks. I'm more than just a girlfriend. Like, I get involved and help him with to make weight, to rehydrate. I'm there in his corner. I like to get involved and give my 100% support. You'll see videos of me online, like screaming, crying, like because he's won or whatever. But yeah, dating an MMA fighter is really isolating. It's tough, and it's a lot to take, because especially when they're in the dieting process, of like cutting the carbs, cutting the salt, everything's so regimented, and you don't want to say the wrong thing because you don't want him to like lose focus. Like, he's literally about to go into war. Like, it's a lot. And me doing my own boxing fight, and I had to make weight, I had to cut weight. I've got a little insight, so it's got a little bit easier. But we don't have children yet, so I like getting involved and being there. And
God bless you. So you do picture yourself in a few years having children and starting a family.
I'd love to have. Yeah.
That's so sweet.
Would you ever put them through MMA or boxing?
Hell no. Now I've seen it. Now I've been through it, and I've been punched in the face, or seeing him get punched in the face. Nah. Do you know what scares me the most? The brain damage.
Yeah.
Like, I see these stories 100%. Of the brain damage, and I'm like, that does put me off boxing.
I was going to say,
or the sparring.
As fans, obviously, we just see the fight and the hype, but what happens actually
so much
internally,
behind it.
Yeah. It's like, recently I've been watching a lot of boxing, and people, now if you notice about even the heavyweight boxers now, they speak more about the health side of boxing.
100%.
I remember Wilder the other day broke down in a press conference about a year ago. Not about a year ago, but I only watched it recently. It really hit me. He said, a guy got ill and he didn't have kids. And he started crying like during the press conference, and you're thinking you're a grown-ass man.
Yep.
Probably the scariest puncher in the world at the time. And he broke down saying that you don't realise,
You're literally putting your life at risk.
Literally. Because like you just said, brain damage and,
I forgot his name. Don't you remember the boxer who accidentally got hit in the back of the head and he become disabled?
I saw that video on TikTok about 6 weeks ago, and I was like, I'm never boxing again.
Right. So you'd never go back into it?
No, I would. But at the time, I was that is just not worth it.
It's not.
No amount of money could,
bring back your health.
Of course not,
Hell no.
So the fact that you said that about your kids, I think it's the best thing to say, man. You don't see your children going through that. You'd rather they work a 9 to 5, a normal job, and be happy and be safe.
Nah, maybe not a 9 to 5.
Entrepreneur,
business owner.
Yeah, when mum's just going to give me a few properties and I'll be good.
Well, I mean, but standard 9 to 5, as long as he's safe, he's work.
I know
of course, cool. But you know
100%.
what? Even we touched up on the whole mental health side. Tell us about hate, because hate is something that everyone has a different view on it. Like you said, you block it out.
Yeah.
But there are people, when it gets to them, they'll write back and say, fuck you too, or have you ever done that before? Have you retaliated to someone and then got yourself in hot water, or thought, fuck, I should just left it?
I reply to hate quite a lot, but in a nice way.
Sarcastic way.
Kind of sarcastic, but like I don't know, like when I did the Sidemen, that's probably when I got the most hate.
For what was the most
Everyone was just calling me, like, I've noticed hate is a trend. So say someone calls me mid, everyone will call me mid. Say someone calls me a pig, everyone will call me a pig. It's like a trend, they all copy each other. And I was like, they don't mean it. They're all just copying each other. So I kept that in my head, I think, which is a really important thing. And then I did the influencer boxing when I fought Julie Pocker. That was also horrific. I was receiving 50 to 100 death threats from Brazilians every single day.
After she beat you?
No. This was like the build up of the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, because I was making the comedy
ignited
sketches
it,
and stuff. Exactly. I did ignite it, yeah. And received ridiculous amounts of hate, and I just ignored it, put it to the back of my head. And I'm very grateful it genuinely doesn't get to me, because they don't mean it. Like, they're just lost souls, aren't they?
But don't you ever feel like one day someone might mean it? Because if someone threatens me on Instagram...
good on them. I'm the only people that opinions matters is the people that I surround myself with. Like my family, the people I love. Yeah. If they say to me, Daniella, I'm disappointed in you, I will care about that and I'll want to know why. Yeah. But if it's someone down the street going, you're a slut, you're on OnlyFans, I'm like...
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, like, I hope you're happy in your life or whatever you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even know what you're doing. Probably McDonald's, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get on with your life and I'll get on with mine. And there's always, no matter how good of a person you are, there will always be a hater. Always. You could be the most prim and proper, beautiful, perfect person with the perfect life, the perfect everything. And someone will find something.
Yeah, it will be someone behind the screen, just keyboard warrior. 100%.
Always.
And you know, it'll probably be a 6-year-old who's probably saying, I'm gonna come to your house and fucking kill you. What?
Yeah. Literally.
That's what it is, isn't it?
Literally.
Why 6?
Oh no, I'm just saying, isn't it? You know, nowadays kids just come
it's
out
actually
with
sad
phones.
though. Haters is actually really sad, because they're probably just lost souls at home. Like, and if you notice, it's always, you'll never have someone hate on you that's doing better than you.
Oh,
I just thought of something as well. People probably want to give the worst hate comment because they like the likes on that hate comment. Because have you seen some?
Oh, yeah, they'll get like 10k likes.
They get mental likes.
You know, like I said, bro, you know, like everything nowadays, anything that's negative, there's people behind it.
That's it.
It's just the way the world works.
Look at the news. I don't watch the news anymore. Oh, well, I don't watch the news full stop, because if you watch the news, it's so depressing.
It's really 100%.
Bad. Like, everything in a magazine is all negative, because people thrive off it. It's mental.
Yeah, and then at the end, and then Liverpool have won. At the end, they just add a little sports section.
Like
you
said, the fact you said Liverpool won.
Yeah,
right, you're a Liverpool fan.
I just thought I'd get everyone happy.
Then you know what? Honestly, before we come to an end, just want to bring up, you know, your future plans you have. What can people expect from you next? What have you got in the pipeline? Any fights or any other ventures you're going into? Something you'd like to speak about on that end?
My ultimate career goal is to be a very successful property entrepreneur, property investor. I'm getting into property this year, currently on the lookout for my first investment property, and want to build a nice portfolio, set myself up for life.
Brilliant.
And I would love, my ultimate social media goal, should we call it, is to have my own reality TV show, because my life is so entertaining and so I just think it's too good not to document. Like, I love vlogging, but I feel like the ultimate level is to have my own TV show.
Brilliant.
Like, that's the goal.
Well, wish you all the best. You'll definitely get that, man.
Yeah,
it's coming. It's coming. I'm a big manifester, and I honestly believe everything in my life has come through manifestation. I write in a journal every single day, no joke. I'll write it. A few months later, I'll be ticking it off. Everything. Even meeting my partner, the amount of money I want to make 300k in a year, tick. Like, honestly, if you believe it and you're active with it, you'll achieve it. Honestly.
That's, you know, on that point,
what a brilliant saying.
You know, end the podcast. Thank you so much for coming on.
I'm going to have a 6-pack tomorrow.
Yeah,
man.
Me too. Let me take it with you. So
it's psychological as well, because you'll believe it and then you'll start doing to achieve it.
You know, I'm going to start doing that. I've never done that, by the way.
Yeah, same.
Honestly, journaling.
With me, I always think, give it your best, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen anyway.
Mine's Monday to Thursday
gym. Believe it, though.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, junk food. Because it's the weekend, isn't it? You think, it's all right.
He's such a negative.
Cheap meal turns into a cheat day.
You're one of them negative ones who writes them comments. I think it's you.
Are you glass half full or glass half empty?
Oh, probably. I don't know. It depends on the day, on what I'm feeling. I'd say half full.
Half full?
Yeah, half full.
I think you're empty, personally. Cool. I think you're done.
Empty.
But there you have it, guys. That was our podcast with the amazing Daniella. If you liked what you saw, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And hit the bell notification so you don't miss none of our uploads.
So until next week, peace, love, and respect.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.